I hate November. Can I just say it out loud? I really don't like November. There is not much to love about November, and I don't know how to be friends with November. Because December is like really usually pretty. It's Christmas time, everybody's so happy, you can see your family, your friends, and the snow comes. And December is a great month, and October is a great month because everything is so golden and the fall is in full spring, and it's just like everything looks so cool because of the colors in the nature. But November is the darkest and the grayest, and it gets cold and it's like rainy a lot, and I just don't like November, and I don't know how to love it, how to make friends with November. I just needed to tell you guys. I am so uninspired to go out to take any photos. I don't think I take one photo of nature in November, and that's terrible. And it's just so uninspiring to even try to make any videos in the nature because I just don't like how things look and the light is bad. And anyways, we are in the parking lot of a place that leads to a desert. There's a desert in Hiiumaa, and I wanted to show you guys the desert, and I drove all the way here to show you guys, and now I forgot my microphone and it's super windy outside, which means that the sound would be terrible if I talk outside the car, and I don't want to do this to you guys, so I'm just gonna talk here in my car, and that's just how it is, because you know, you can have all imagination in your head what life is gonna be, but it's never gonna be like that. So you just gotta, you know, take it for what it is and just try to make it work somehow. The desert we have is it's basically in the middle of pine forest, and why it's here is because we are up here in the north. There are no deserts obviously here, but it's just a really large area that is not covered by any trees or anything, just sand. And why it's here was because there was a lot of forest fires here, and then we were occupied by the Soviets, and the Soviets used it as a training ground for their tanks. So they would drive with the heavy tanks on the sand, and no vegetation can grow. So a mixture of the tanks and the forest fires created this huge area that didn't have anything growing on them. And it used to be much bigger, but now it's regrowing back a little bit. But it's still a really cool place to go. And yeah, it's just like this really fun little thing about Hiiumaa that you probably didn't know. Now you know we have a desert. If you come here, come to a desert. It looks really cool. Okay, and I as uninspired as I am, I wanted to just share some thoughts that have came to my mind this week, and it was like I really at one time regretted that I said that I'm going to make a video every Sunday, because I just didn't know what kind of videos to make anymore, because you know, I'm kind of lost with my YouTube, because when I started my YouTube a few years ago, I started because I had such an interesting life. I felt like Hiiumaa is such a beautiful place, and I wanted to show the nature of it to you guys. And I also had such an interesting job. I was a beekeeper, and we were living on a farm with my dad, and we were growing all of our own food. Not all, but a lot of our own food. And I felt like there's so much to talk about. But now I don't live there anymore. I live in an apartment now, which sucks for me, because when I look outside, I see another apartments building. I used to see deer eating apples in my garden. Now I see another concrete buildings, and it's not what my soul wants. You know, it's like a temporary solution, but like I'm just like not that person anymore that I was like a few years ago when I started it. And now I don't work for my dad. I don't have the beekeeping thing. We don't grow any food. I don't grow any food. We don't have that anymore. I don't have that anymore. And now I'm like, what is left? I already like what I'm gonna make videos about now, you know, and I kind of feel lost. Like, if I just talk about my life, are people gonna be interested in that, or am I interested in talking just about myself? Because I feel like, to be honest, there's so many things that have happened to me that I can't share, because I feel like they include people that I really love or care about, or who I don't want to talk badly, even if we are having some really big fights or whatever, you know. So I feel like even my personal life, all the tea that I would have to spill, I don't want to spill it, because it's my people that are dear to me. And so I'm just like a little bit lost, like what am I doing here, you know? maybe I should just move on because I lost the thing that I was really passionate about and that I wanted to make videos about, and then I can't share my personal stuff as much as I would want because, you know, there are other people involved that I want to protect. And then I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing here. But anyways, I wanted to share. I was gonna like, yeah, I didn't know what I'm gonna do my video about it, and I was gonna regretting it. And then I was telling some man on Tinder that I'm gonna go on dates with them, and then I agreed to go on a date, and then I was like, really, before I had to go, I was like really regretting that I did that because I didn't want to go, and then because it's out of my comfort zone, you know, like these kind of things, but then I went, of course, and it was so much fun. And then I made some videos, like the videos that I did earlier. I really liked them, actually, even though I didn't want to do them in the first place. And then I realized that I'm living in my comfort zone quite a lot these last months, and I'm not really going on the edge where the real life is happening, you know. And I'm just like want to cuddle up with a cup of tea in my warm bed, and that's not where life happens. And now I'm like, okay, I have to push myself out of my comfort zone. I feel like I've been standing in my comfort zone for a little bit too long lately. So what about you? Let me know. Do you feel like you go out there and you know, do what you want to do deep down in your heart, or are you just like cuddle with your cup of tea in your comfort zone and you know, letting the life go by? That's just how I feel. Okay, anyways, I want to share with you one thing, and then I'm gonna go because November is gonna end with this video, and then maybe I will find something better to talk about. But anyways, I bought this book by Rupi Kaur. Is one of my favorite authors, and I never had any of her books, but there was this one poem. I bought it. I broke my car, and then I took my car to repair, and then I had few hours. I have to wait in a mall basically for a few hours, and I was like, you know, shopping is not really my thing, and so I went to a bookstore and I bought this book, and I read it in a few hours. And there is this one poem. Oh no, this whole freaking book. Okay, first half I read it. It's called Homebody, by the way. Homebody. Buy it and read it. It's really good. The first part talks about the author's difficulties in childhood and how she was basically raped and was in a violent relationship, and how she had depression. And I was reading it, and I really felt like I need to go and hug a puppy or something after that, because it's so dark and so like painful what she went through, and she just writes so well in the poems. But then the second half, it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those books that really gets into your soul and really does something, and you don't even know what it was that just hit you, but you feel like it really touched you deep down. And the second half is about recovering, healing, and moving on and finding the strength. And there was this one poem I'm gonna read. It's really short, it's not, you know, let's just do it. So it goes like this. I am not a victim of my life. What I went through pulled a warrior out of me, and it is my greatest honor to be her. How great is this? I am not a victim of my life. I am not a victim of my life. I need to repeat this to myself. All the hardships that we go through in life, they require us to grow stronger and to be stronger and to be better. I don't know, it's just like it just hit the nail for me, and lately hard things have happening in my life, and I just feel like they made me stronger. They pulled out the warrior of me, and I am proud to be her. Such a beautiful book. Please go ahead, and you can just follow Rupi on social media if you don't want to buy the book, because she shares a lot on Instagram, for example, a lot of her poems, and they are beautiful and so touching. And anyways, I'll see you next Sunday, because I promise to make a video every Sunday. And it's actually been a really interesting journey, or like a challenge, or like I feel like by the end of this year I will really know what I want to do, if I really, you know, find myself and find what to make videos about, or if I'm just gonna, you know, say that it's time to move on with my life and do something else. And yeah, well, anyways, I hope all is good with you. if you'd leave a comment who is here, I would love to hear. You know, since my thumbnails and my subjects of my videos are not so exciting, it's really cool to know who are there when, you know, when I'm just being me and talking about my life. And anyways, I hope all is good. And Jack is here too, by the way. So patient. Jack, you're so patient. Thank you. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Oh, Chico. Okay, we're gonna go now. Jack, lähme. Ja, lähme.